Hey guys, it's Thunder here, and welcome to another episode of the Need for Speed Most Wanted Mod Showcase. Now, since the last episode, we've gotten quite a bit more suggestions to be put onto the wheel, but only 3 of them, of course, will be chosen in this episode. Now, which of those 3 will they be? Well, let's find out. The first one that we're going to get here is going to be the Mitsubishi 3000GT, which is the 3rd suggestion by Mueller-Milch. Hopefully this will be his best of the 3. He hasn't had a lot of luck with his Opel Manta or Nissan 300ZX at 32 suggestions, so let's see if the 3000 GT can at least do better. Second up we're going to have is the Honda NSX, which was suggested by LRC, which is his first suggestion. So it looks like we've got so far an all Japanese episode, but can we get a 3rd Japanese car to complete it? Let's find out with this final spin. We're gonna get, yes, in fact, we are going to get yet another Japanese car with the Toyota FT-1, which was suggested by Fabinator, which is his second suggestion, because his first is the 2nd place car on the leaderboard, the Mazda 787B. Anyways, so with an all Japanese episode, let's take it to the track. And now we are into the game, of course, with our first car here, the Mitsubishi 3000GT, or otherwise known as the GTO, which was, of course, suggested by Mueller-Milch 245. Of course, he would have suggested it. Now, this car replaces a Mitsubishi already that's in the game, the Eclipse GT, so basically you can have a GTO and a Lancer in the game at once. Now, this car actually does have quite a few customization options. It's got quite a bunch of different body kit designs. I've already gone through them all, but I personally quite like this last one here. This particular one I think is one of the better looking of the ones, so we're gonna go with that. You can, oh, I went a little too far now. You can, of course, change spoilers, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna leave as is. Wheels, you can, of course, obviously also change. I'm actually going to change it because I don't like the stock wheels that are on this, so we'll go with those. This actually has a few hoods as well that we can choose from, including deciding to have no hood at all. We're gonna go for this one though, because I do like having a hood. And well, yeah, of course, the dreaded roof scoops. Yeah, no, thank you. And as for visual, we can obviously, of course, paint the car like we can with mostly anything else. Since this is a facelifted 3000 GT, one of the last facelifts, we're gonna go with a red because the car is, you know, better known to be in red. Now vinyls. Now it's interesting if you just get the car without like doing anything to it, the vinyl will not work. However, the README mentions just go into the files for the Eclipse GT, just copy the vinyls.bin and use that, which just begs the question, why couldn't it just be included anyways? A little weird, but whatever. And one of the interesting things too about the extra options is the custom vinyl support, which means any blacklist car can of course now have blacklist vinyls. So we have Big Lou's livery on the 3000 GT, which is what we're gonna do here. So anyways, so there we go. There's our 3000 GT done there. So let's go and, of course, mosey our way down over to the Petersburg circuit. Give it the laps. Remove the traffic. No opponents. Don't really need to worry about anything extra here, but let's go and see how the 3000 GT fares. I'm personally expecting it to perform kind of similar to the car it replaces, the Eclipse GT, because this is a bit of an earlier mod, so, you know, maybe the person didn't quite know about this stuff. I mean, I would love to see this thing go quicker than the Eclipse, obviously, but, you know, there's no way of me really being able to tell, obviously, until I do this. From the feels of it, though, it looks like it's probably got the Eclipse's performance, so it's likely going to be very similar to where the Eclipse is on the leaderboard. Also, I apologize that this is 30 frames per second. I just don't have a good enough computer to really benefit 60 frames per second videos with this series, especially with my recorder, so, you know, it doesn't look very 60 frames anyways when I play it back, so it's 30 frames for now until the eventual day comes, whenever that may be, probably 5,000-10,000 years from now. I can upgrade my computer. But yeah, generally this doesn't feel bad to drive at all. It's definitely nice, and it's, you know, it's got a bit of peppiness to it with the performance. it just again it just feels like an Eclipse GT with the GTO body and whatnot on it. So so honestly, maybe that was the intention of the modder, maybe just to keep it the way it is so that it's not doesn't kind of really change anything up within the game. Maybe that was the idea. I still personally think it is better though that the car kind of has its own like performance, but again, I'm not the one who made this, so I'm actually gonna go into bumper view here. Also, another thing about the newer extra options is hidden cameras. So yes, if you want some camera angles that we weren't originally supposed to get, but of course modding made that happen, there you go. It's well worth getting the extra options, especially the latest build, because it adds a lot of neat things to really enhance the game, make more things possible that what people didn't think was possible, but actually is. But yeah, this feels like it's gonna just do about. Oh shoot, that was a big mistake. This pretty much feels like an Eclipse right now. So that I'm expecting lap time to be pretty much 59 point something at the best, maybe 58 if I push it like an absolute madman. Try to stay on the outside. Does help with a little bit with the speed, just a little bit though. Just cut in through there nicely. Yes, you can see I'm trying very hard to push this bit. I want us to believe it can beat the car it replaces, because it looks like that's all I'm really going to be able to aim for with this car, I'm afraid. Mueller doesn't seem to have the best of luck with cars. There was one suggestion he had that I think if he stuck with it would have probably done fairly well. If he does decide to do another one after this, it'll probably be the next one he chooses. I wouldn't be surprised, but I just have to see. I mean, I will say though, out of all of them that I've driven, this feels the best. I like it the most out of the compared to the 300ZX and the Opel Manta. But yeah, it drives. It's just the bit of power seems to be its problem, and not as snappy handling. So, but apart from that, it just feels nice to drive. It feels like the Eclipse did, and the Eclipse wasn't a bad car to begin with, and by the way it felt. So, it's not all a downer. I mean, hell, I'm not a huge fan of the Eclipse anyway. So here you can just put a 3000GT in its place and have something much cooler. Because I quite like the 3000GT. It's one of the more underrated Mitsubishis. I wouldn't say the most underrated Mitsubishi. I'd say the FTO is probably the FTO deserves that nod, but the GTO here I do quite like. So, but yeah, it's a nice car though, at least. So there's that going for it. Anyways, let's see what we did with the time. That last lap felt the best. It was 58.9. 58.9. No, that is actually better than the that we did with the Eclipse. So there we go. It's not huge, but hey, the 3000 GT is an improvement over the car it replaces. So that's good. Anyways, next up we have is the Honda NSX, which was of course suggested by LRC. Now, this one actually as well does have some customization options. The first one here is interesting because it's kind of like a carbon fiber top thing. Actually, it looks quite nice. I like it. Second one is very minor. It just changes up a couple things, nothing extreme. Same thing with the third one, fourth one. Yeah, it's nothing really over the top with this one. It's kind of like they're kind of like more minor things, I suppose. And unfortunately, they have to add like the roof skips. I'm going to go with just this one. I like this one quite a bit, so that's what we're going to go with. Spoilers don't actually work. Wheels, of course, will work, obviously. Now, okay, oh, here's something interesting. It actually does have like body kits. It's in the hood section, which is a first. And of course, you can. Oh, wow! You can even have like a carbon fiber. It's kind of like underground too in that way. Yeah, this is really interesting. I'd say this guy really switched it up. Okay. I don't want to have like the all bumper stuff there. So actually what we're going to do, I like that one particularly, but I'm going to do it where I've got the lights up like that, because of course I like that look a little better. So yeah, there we go. We're going to go with that. That's actually quite interesting. I never knew that. Didn't even know it was possible. So yeah, and then you can just have like something like that for design there. So let's switch over to this one. There we go. It's a little bit more to the car now. And roof scoops, obviously, well, some of them have roof scoops, so no point with that. Paint-wise, let's see what we got with the paint. Oh, why am I saying that? Of course, it can obviously be painted. Durr. So let's give it a nice black livery. I think NSX looks good in that. This car can also be given vinyls, as I'll show here, but because this replaces the Lexus IS300, which means you can put Taz's livery on the car. I am actually not going to do that. I'll just go with something a little more tame, I think. How about something like, what's possible? How about this one right here, and we can, oh wow, we'll paint it red like that. Okay, yeah, that works good. All right, we're gonna stop there because I think that's good enough, and let's go back and see just exactly how well this NSX is going to fare. This one actually you can only get on GTR cars, by the way. This one was never particularly uploaded to NFS cars. Interesting how the customization works on this car. One of the more interesting ones we've had. Now, the IS300 wasn't really anything that's special, so here's hoping that the NSX is an improvement. One thing that I can tell is that it has the IS300's engine note, but it's got a bit of a whine. It's got a bit of a turbo whine sound going, so it's like a modified variant of the engine. Handling is interesting, I must say. It feels heavy, but it actually does get more sustainable grip in comparison to the GTO. So, but it's quite nice, and it's got decent speed going for it too. 215 miles an hour right there. I think this one might be middle of the leaderboard, maybe a little bit higher. I don't know. This one is quite surprising so far. I quite like the way this NSX is driving. Definitely not what I was expecting, but I'm not complaining either. Anyway, yeah, we're of course not going to worry about that first lap. But it can also take that last corner fairly well by the looks of it. Nearly 200 before that little jump area there. Oh, and they got a little bit of a slide, which isn't the greatest, but hey. But yeah, it can take the corners, interestingly enough, so it's able to go through them with quite a bit of speed, which helps. Well, I really cut close there, but I didn't hit, and that was the good part. Yeah, look at that. 218 in an NSX there. That's quite a lot of speed in a very nice Honda. So let's get around here. Of course, now that those are out of the way, almost hit those ones, but we avoided it, so that's good. Yeah, this should get a fairly interesting time. Let's see what we got. Wow, 54.76. This gets quite a good time. In fact, it's a very good time. So we definitely got something on our hands that I wasn't expecting to do as good, but it's definitely it's a nice, good improvement over what it replaces, which is the IS300. So if you're not a big fan of the IS300, you'd rather want a nice, like, a Japanese car that's quicker. I'd say the NSX here is your best, is a very good pick. Now I'm just kind of driving silly though, which isn't helping. Let's go back to the bumper view. I seem to get a really good feel with this game when in bumper view, I'm finding. So we're going to stick with that. Oh, I think I nudged that ever so slightly, but I didn't lose a lot of speed. And I don't think this lap's going to be better anyways, because I made a few too many mistakes. But hey, yeah, that was not an improvement. That was almost like a whole second worse, I think, actually. So I just wanted to play it a little more carefully there. We'll just kind of go around there, and yep, there we go. There's that little Harrier section, I guess, out of the way. Woo, that was close. Man, we're doing okay. I think we've, so far, okay, that was not the prettiest, but we're going to take it. Yeah, this NSX, I'm surprised. I didn't think it was going to be this good, but it is, and I'm, generally shocked. That was nearly 220 there, by the way. That was Jaguar XJ220 speeds. Oh, gee. Okay, yeah, there goes that lap. Oh, and just to add insult to injury, I suppose. Really? Come on. I've had enough with this lap. Just leave me alone, damn it. Anyways, doesn't really matter. 54.76. What was that? No, yeah, it was 76 because it said that, but here it's saying 54.77, which is incorrect. It said 54.76, so that's the lap we're going with. But yeah, really good showing by the NSX. Also, this car's right-hand drive. I just noticed there before we went out to that. So anyways, finally here we have, of course, is the Toyota FT-1, which is looks like it's basically what will probably eventually lead into a new Supra, because I can tell that's the direction they're taking. Sadly, of course, unlike the NSX and the GTO, not really much you can do to visualize it, apart from the wheels, obviously. So, yeah, there's just not really much. Hoods don't even seem to be doing anything. Now, I've been told for some cars that, changing the if hoods for some of them will change the license plate for some, but in some cases where it's behind the car, it's a bit of a pain to kind of choose just to see if it actually does anything. Now this actually replaces the Toyota Supra, which makes sense. So it's of course normally black, so I just painted it to red to match more the concept color. This can't have any vinyls put onto it. The custom thing will obviously not work either, so we can't have Vic's livery on the FT-1. I'll have to try the little trick what I did with the GTO to see if that helps. But that will have to be done off screen. But anyways, I think the FT-1 will probably be a quick car. Realistically, between the three, it would probably have to be, but for all I know, maybe it might not be. We'll see how the FT-1 fares. Looks like it's got exactly the same engine note as the last car, the NSX. But we'll see. It's got... Yeah, it sounds more like the regular IS300 without that little extra turbo whine that was added with the NSX one. Ooh. Okay, this one's a bit funky with the handling. It feels like the amount of turning you would normally give a car before you expect it to completely turn all the way. It's the FT-1 just takes a little bit longer, and it got a little bit more. It's very strange with this car. It's very strange. What I am noticing is that it's actually not very quick. That's very surprising. In fact, I think I might have even been going faster with the 3000GT for that matter. So I don't know what's going on here. This thing I was kind of hoping could really take good advantage with but it looks like again it's yet another case of someone trying to make a more realistic thing, which yeah, okay, I suppose, but it's Need for Speed. It just feels off when you do that. So like I just don't quite understand it, to be honest. It feels very strange to me when that happens, so but whatever. I'm not the one who designed this mod, so don't get mad at me. I have absolutely nothing to do with this one, so. But yeah, I don't know. The GTO is doing quicker than this. This definitely feels like a downgrade. I mean, the Supra itself isn't very high on the leaderboard anyways, but this FT-1 is just a letdown. It handles are interesting, but that's all I can really say about it. The speed and whatnot is just not great. Now, I could try to do it with these camera angles, but it's very strange to my eyes, so obviously I'm just going to keep it on this view. In fact, I at least did hit 200. Doesn't like that last corner, though. It certainly doesn't. Okay, let's make this lap count. Let's actually try to get a good lap out of this one. Oh god, that was a little bit hairy there, but I mean, I will say this, it has a little bit sharper handling to the GTO, so I'm expecting it, if I push it enough, it may get a sub 59-second lap time, but it just doesn't seem to have a lot going for it. So I don't know. I just think it's gonna be very poor. It's just gonna be there, but we'll see. We'll see just exactly how well it does. I mean, the fact that it's even slower on top end of the GTO, maybe where the GTO can catch up, it can pick up some momentum and try to still get a better lap time. But honestly, I think it's going to be fairly close between these two. So, because the GTO is a little bit faster on top end, but the FT-1 does have a little bit better handling. 59.63. Okay, I'm really gonna have to push it if I'm gonna get this. If I'm gonna get this any quicker. So let's just give it one good go here. I'm gonna really push it with this thing, because like I did with the GT on that last lap, I was kind of also hoping to get a better lap with the NSX, but then I screwed that up. But even still, the lap time it got more than impressed me enough. So, I mean, if you were to take, it's probably, you know, someone who's played this game constantly since 2005 and has mastered these tracks, they probably could be doing much quicker times than I can. But I've driven this track so much that I'd say I'm pretty damn good at it. So. Okay, and that little twitch I had after that jump kind of ruined my angle, and fuck. I should have gotten rid of those on the first lap. I'm an idiot. Yeah, but honestly, I don't know. I don't think it was really going to do much better, to be honest. I think it's interesting. The one that I think would be the fastest when guessing between the three, and it turns out to be the slowest. Again, that's just how the modder made the car, so that's just how the cookie crumbles with that one. A 59.63 is what we got with this car. I mean, at least it got sub 1 minute, but damn, I'm kind of disappointed with this. At least the mod looks nice, so I guess that's one thing going for it, right? So that means, of course, now we come over to the leaderboard, and of course the best car definitely today was the Honda NSX, getting 16th place with a 54.76 second lap time. It's an incredible showing for the NSX. I did not expect it to get the time it did, but hey, I'm not complaining that much. Down over into 44th place, we have, of course, the Mitsubishi 3000GT with a 58.90 second lap time. And unfortunately, all at the bottom, the slowest of the bunch today was the Toyota FT-1 in 53rd with a 59.63 second lap time. I just don't understand what is with these people. I understand some people prefer a more realistic driving approach to their games and their cars and whatnot, but I don't know, to me, it just still feels off because knowing it's a Need for Speed game. That's just my personal viewpoint anyways. Stay tuned for the next episode, and as always, thank you guys for watching, and take care. And if you have a suggestion, please feel free to leave it down in the comment section below. If you've given me a suggestion, wait till you actually have seen your first suggestion be shown on video. Follow me on Twitter to get the best updates as soon as possible. Donate to my Patreon if you want to. No, not required at all. And as always, thank you for watching, and take care.